It's really opened my eyes up to a new way of thinking, a new form of spirituality that doesn't always align with the teachings of Christianity. So my question is to you, Oprah, how have you reconciled these spiritual teachings with your Christian belief?
I reconciled it because I was able to open my mind about the absolute indescribable hugeness of that which we call God. I took God out of the box because I grew up in the Baptist church, and there were, rules and, belief systems and doctrine. And I happened to be sitting in church in my late 20s, and I was going to this church where you had to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning where you couldn't get a seat, and a very charismatic minister, and everybody was just, into the sermon. And this great minister was preaching about how great God was and how omniscient and omnipresent and God is everything. And then he said, and the Lord thy God is a jealous God. And I was, caught up in the rapture of that moment until he said jealous. And something struck me. And I was like, I think about 27 or 28. I was thinking, God is all, God is omnipresent, God is omnipresent, and God's also jealous. God is jealous of me. And something about that didn't feel right in my spirit, because I believe that God is love and that God is in all things. And so that's when the search for something more than doctrine started to stir within me. And I love this quote that Eckhart has. This is one of my favorite books in chapter 1, where he says, man made God in his own image, eternal, infinite, and unnameable, was reduced to a mental idol that you had to believe in and worship as my God or our God.
Yes, I like this. Very good, very good. We're going there. Yes. First, let me say what everyone else have said. In the Bible, it says God is jealous. But I don't know if you've noticed that almost every time the word is used referring to him, it has to do with the fact that you are not in a relationship, but you are in a agreement, a more or less a marriage relationship. And the jealousy is not a jealous as in a jealous boyfriend or a jealous spouse, okay? The jealousy is as in a jealous God. Do you follow? Can you make the difference? I would, if Oprah's listening, I would come to you personally, but I have no idea where to find you, plus I'm probably too poor to get there anyway, more than likely. Anyway, but if you hear this, a jealous God, this is a major difference from just being any kind of jealous person, even in the sense of being jealous at all. In other words, he doesn't like the thought of you worshiping something that is not God. You follow? Does that change things a little bit? I hope it does, because it's like when people were bowing down to the idol in times past. When we think about it now, it's so repulsive. Like, I can't believe that they used to do that, And even in the show itself, that I just shared, it was showing the repulsiveness, and even you went on to even in the show, for those who's just watching this, Oprah went on even to show how it said man made God out of this and this, the eternal, and reduce him to nothing but a an idol or da 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 da. See the repulsiveness of something that is not worthy of worship. Being worshipped is just like no. And this is the same thing God has for those who don't worship him, because he is worthy. Therefore, he has that repulsiveness. I'm just saying what other people have said. But if you go back and you look, you'll find in either the same chapter or a chapter over, or a few chapters, and you'll find the word covenant. So you'll hear the word covenant, then you'll see the word jealous. Covenant, jealous. Covenant, jealous. Covenant, jealous. Because they almost are tied one in one. If you're not in a covenant with him, then you're none of his, in essence. You see what I'm saying? So he has nothing. That jealousy mark doesn't really weigh on a person like that. But a person who is in a covenant situation, that's where the jealousy comes in, when they deviate. That's why I gave the story of the wealthy lady that actually was wisdom, the wisdom of God, who lives in heaven, who had servants that will do her command. But let me go further. Because this is good. Should I give some scripture? I love it. I love the story. Okay. She's in church. It's where it starts. She's in church. She's hearing this wonderful minister, and she's in the rapture of the moment when she's struck. Something strikes her. Like, wait a minute. That's the Lord for you. That right there is the Lord. I'm just saying, a lot of people, at least I looked around YouTube to see how everybody else had addressed her, about her asking, jealous. And it seemed like, to me, like a lot of people was coming down on her. But when I heard it, I was like, that's the Lord. He does that. He so does that. And if you haven't had one of those moments, then I don't know if the Lord has been trying to talk to you or not. That's how the Lord speaks to people. You can't come down on Oprah just because she has a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? The Lord wants to speak to her like he wants to speak to everybody else. But usually when he does something like that, it's at a turning point, okay? It's you have to get past this to get to the next level. Let me show you. Here's when he did it when he was on earth. He did it a bunch of times, but this one is very clear. You can see this very clear. It's in the book of John. It's in chapter 7. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. He does this, man. In this verse 53. 53. This is the exact same thing. But it is the turning point. This is where I believe a lot of atheists were born. They hit that turning point, and they couldn't hold on to his hand. I don't know where Oprah is. I seen her in Joel Osteen church. I don't know necessarily all his beliefs or what all of that. I've heard her say after that she was a believer still. Yet and still, I don't know if she reconciled what he was trying to teach her. But here's the story. Oh man, I love this story. It's in 58. This is what the Messiah said to these people, to his disciples. This is where the Messiah is talking to his people. He said, whosoever eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. For my flesh is meat indeed, my blood is drink indeed. He that eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood dwelleth in me, and I in him. As the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father, so he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. This is the bread which come down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna, and are dead. He that eateth this bread shall live forever. It said, these things said he in the synagogue, as he taught in Capernaum. That many, therefore, of his disciples, here it is right here it is, 60. It says, many, therefore, of his disciples, when they had heard this, said, this is a hard saying. Who can hear it? You hear me? Today we know that what that means from backwards and forward. We know he wasn't talking because we're after the fact. We're thousands of years after the fact. We can look back and that's not a hard saying. That's nothing. We know exactly what that means. But at the time in which he said it, that was a hard saying. What? They're not even permitted to eat swine, yet they can eat human? What is he talking about? This was a hard saying, it said. And if you go to 66, I'm just going to skip to 66, it says, from that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. That was the turning point. That was the turning point. You see? People think that this thing's just going to be, okay, we just hand it right here. No. There's going to be little things you're going to have to make adjustments for. You're going to have to keep making adjustments for. You're going to have to keep making adjustments. And after that, this is what he said to the 12. He said, then said Jesus, or Yahshua, unto the 12, will ye also go away? He's talking to the 12, not anybody. He's talking to the 12. He said, are you all going to leave too? What's up? He does that. He does that. And unfortunately, a lot of people have left on him doing that. But if they just held on, I'm not saying that she, let go at all, but I know a lot of people have let go. I even was in that situation where it's just like, man, I should just let this thing, but after I figured out where I had misunderstood what was going on, then it was like, oh, okay, had I let that get in my way, I would not be here today. I would not have grown. I would not have, received that spiritual growth which he was trying to give me, I just wanted to highlight that you people don't speak evil of Oprah, anybody who's growing. This is a growing matter, people. And what it say? Those with wisdom restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. You don't, if she did go wrong or what have you, that ain't, you don't go beating down on somebody. Come on, people. Come on. I just had to highlight that, especially because I'm dealing with atheists. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of them, they read something and they didn't understand it and they left. And they read something and they left. And they read something and they left. Whether Muslims, they read something and they didn't agree and they left. No, the Lord does that. That's what He does. You think you got it? He's keep you from getting comfortable. Keep you alert. Keep you alert. Think you're gonna be in eternity. You think it's gonna be just this old redundant nuh-uh. You're gonna be using your mind. You're gonna be using your frame. You're gonna be into it. It's great things coming. YAH is love for life.
The spirituality and the forces of God, but I also believe that there are two forces that are here with us. That we do have our God that we can depend on, but there's also a power of darkness that we need to be aware of. And that's where the choice is.
Do you believe that you can choose between one or the other?
Most absolute, definitely.
Yeah. Now, Ariane, Williamson says in her book, Return to Love, that we're always walking in the direction of one or the other. That all of your actions in life, either you're moving toward the darkness or you're moving toward the light.
It's like when your whole heart is fixed on something, and you're praying and you're singing, and you're like, Lord, just make it happen. Just make it happen. My heart is in it. Just help me out. Let me get it. Let me get this. And He said, yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. Just stay with me. And then everything works itself out. It works itself out very well. But later down the line, after all of the good that has come from things working themselves out, your heart is fixed on something else. And it's like, oh Lord, let me, He said, no. Not this time. Not this time. This time, don't do that. This time, or He says, this time, stand by me. I don't think that decision or your heart being fixed on that is a great thing. And you don't listen, or you do listen. It's a turning point. He does that. You see what I'm saying? He knows. He said He tries the ruins of your heart. That's what the book says. He tries the ruins. So, if you ever have an experience like that, you know why. What I usually tell people, and I'm going to let you all go, is find something that you care about more than anything in this world. And that is probably more than likely what the Lord is going to try to speak to you through or by. YAH is love.